On Highway 93 between Boulder and Golden, this has become a familiar sight. Power poles bending, sometimes snapping in the wind. A problem neighbors have been asking Xcel to fix.
That's the place they should be concentrating on, putting those wires underground, you know.
Those questions
I'm the underground guy.
have become routine for Arlen Parker.
For as long as I can remember. Let's say for as long as I've been at Xcel, 8.5 years, so yes.
Today, that work is finally moving forward as Xcel begins work to bury roughly 70 miles of existing power line across the state. Construction is already underway on 75th Street east of Boulder, and the Highway 93 corridor is expected to follow later this year.
This project allows us to reduce wildfire risk from a downed wire by placing those wires underground.
Xcel Colorado President Robert Kenney says it's the first time the utility is burying lines specifically to reduce wildfire risk.
We have historically placed distribution lines underground for aesthetic reasons. So about 50% of our distribution system is already underground. What's new is that we're now doing it as a part of our wildfire mitigation plan specifically to mitigate the risk of wildfire ignition.
The work is focused on high-risk areas, including Highway 93, where investigators say a damaged Xcel line played a role in starting the Marshall Fire 5 years ago, which eventually burned more than 1,000 homes and businesses. Xcel has since settled for $640 million, but did not answer our questions on if that's why they're doing this.
Well, let me say this. We didn't start the Marshall Fire, and 90% of wildfires are not even started by utility equipment.
Despite those claims, Kenney says it's no secret these above-ground lines pose a risk.
What we've heard from our customers is, why aren't you doing it more? Why don't you put everything underground?
The answer comes down to money. In fact, burying lines costs about 4 times as much as placing them above ground, costs that can quickly add up. The Highway 93 project, for example, will cost close to $70 million to cover just 17 miles.
We want to be good stewards of our customers' dollars, and we want to do it where it's going to make the most sense.
Xcel says this is just the beginning of a much larger wildfire mitigation effort. And Arlen's crew plans to be busy over the next few years.
I sure hope so.
In Boulder County, Evan Krugel, 9 News.